Hey everyone! A few months ago I got all of these toolboxes from my aunt and uncle, and I've never actually gone through them, so it's about time we did a walkthrough to see what's inside these. I've took peeks here and there looking for things that I needed right at that moment, like a screwdriver, but I've never gone through every single drawer. To give you a little background, my uncle got all of the Kennedy boxes from a former employer who was getting rid of some surplus equipment. So my uncle put in a lowball bid and won 4 Kennedy toolboxes, 3 of the smaller ones and the one bigger one here in the middle. The black one was actually made by his grandfather, and that's what my uncle stored all of his electronics supplies in. He's an electrical engineer, and my aunt did a lot of arts and crafts. So there's a mix of things between the two of them in each of the boxes. I know one of them in particular has a lot more craft stuff, and I'm not some all-knowing tool god, so I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. So please, if you happen to recognize something, let me know down in the comments. All right, starting in no particular order, we have this one, which appears to be my aunt's crafting one. I think this might be an apron. I don't know. It's probably an apron. Let's see. I have no idea what that means. That's a bunch of small wire rope, I'm guessing for some of her puppetry type stuff that she did. A little X-Acto circle cutter, a bunch of syringes. I'm not sure what she used them for, probably applying glue or something like that. I've actually been wanting to do some knife work, and one of the things that I'd like to do is mosaic pins, so syringes would be really handy for that. A bunch of little plastic spatulas. Oh, the tiniest little claw hammer ever. Silica gel packet to keep the humidity down. I'm actually planning to do a video all about rust prevention inside your toolboxes. And not to spoil it, but silica gel actually plays a key part in that. I'm still waiting to get some of the supplies for that video, but once I do, I'll get that up as soon as I can. It'll probably be sometime in January of 2024. Let's see, blades. Yep, X-Acto blades, exactly what it says. That appears to be some kind of punch or cutter or shear. I'm not sure what that does. If you recognize this, I don't see any markings on the tool itself. But yeah, there's angle marks, and it appears to be some kind of shear. If you know what this type of thing would be used for, let me know down in the comments. Rivet plane, Stockton, California. Okay, so this has got a V groove on it, and there's a couple of blades right there, so I'm guessing this is to round over or chamfer the corners of a piece of wood. The plane blades themselves, you probably can't see them, but they are rounded in the corner, so I would imagine it's to actually put a light little fillet on the corner of wooden parts. We've got a gouge. I've seen these used for making spoons and things like that. I'm sure that's the sort of thing she did. She did a lot of wood carving. Pea gravel minis in an old film canister. Yep, it's pea gravel. I've got no clue why. I'll have to ask her about that. These look like little rubber finger protectors for when you're doing light work, and little thimble type things, basically, to either give you more grip or to just protect your fingers from getting raw with repeated use. Bunch of little plastic wedges. They all seem to be the same shape. They don't seem to be scrapers or anything like that. If you know what these are, let me know. What do we have here? We have some miscellaneous plumbing fittings. Yeah, that doesn't really fit the theme of the box, but oh, that could be the key to the box. It is. I have the key to the box. Yay! More silica gel. Not sure what that is. Got a little rag and a ruler that it was stuck to for some reason. Yep, that just looks like an old t-shirt maybe. Ruby-throated hummingbird. It is quite attractive. Got a 29-cent stamp from back in the day. This looks like a drawing of a duck that maybe she was doing a little decoy or something like that. Tiny little duck sculpture. And what are these? Marking chalk. That's handy. Of course, I just bought a giant container of this for myself, so now I've got a couple of lifetimes worth of marking chalk. So that's the top of the box. All right, first couple of drawers are empty. We've got a tiny little pair of nippers, it seems. I'm not sure what that would have nipped, probably string maybe. They're not sharp by any means. Again, if you know what this is, the only markings I can see are Z1037. Not sure what that is. We have a tiny pair of channel locks. Got some tweezers, or I'm not sure if these are tweezers or forceps. Correct me down in the comments, please. Over here we have a little pin vise with some collets. Always handy to have. And actually here's another pin vise right here. I don't think these two are related. And a couple of random springs. Moving down to the bigger drawer on the left. Ooh, a nut splitter. These are quite handy. This doesn't even look like it's ever been opened. So if you've ever got a nut that's totally rusted out and you just can't get it off, or more importantly, you're in an area where you can't produce a bunch of sparks, you use one of these. And well, this is supposed to move. You turn this and it pushes this blade into the nut and cuts it in half, basically. Really handy. This will do from 16 millimeter to 22 millimeter, so roughly 5/8 to about 7/8 or so. That's pretty cool. We got a pencil, always needed. And we've got a sharpening stone. Very cool. Miscellaneous box of some tacks. And these, I believe, are for putting into parts to transfer hole locations. So if you have a piece of wood, you can put this into a hole, press it in, and then you've got marks where your hole locations go. I think that's what they are. Please correct me if I'm super wrong. Moving over here, oh, we've got a whole bunch of different shapes of hobby knife blades. That's pretty cool. We've got a scalpel down here. We've got a compass. These are tubing benders. You can put different size tubings through there, and then the spring actually, this is all one long spring with a tapered end. The spring allows you to bend it without it just kinking in half because it's supported on the outside. Pretty handy. This says plug crimper circuit concept. Seems to be perhaps electronics. Yeah. I don't know. Not sure about that. If anyone's, oh, those are some tiny little holes in there where the wires would go. That's pretty slick. I don't know anything about electronics, so If anyone knows what I could use that for or what it should be used for, just please let me know. It's random garbage stuff. These aren't marked, but I'm guessing they're some kind of little brush. They appear to be. I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss as to what that would actually brush. These are steel or stainless tines. I'm not sure. And the brush is, well, if you look at it in terms of my my finger, it's not terribly long. And then what do we have down here? Okay, this must be something specific to her doll making. They look like little shims, but they're labeled as Global Doll. Not sure. They seem to have these pegs on them that I'm sure fits in somewhere. I'm just not sure what they would be used for. All right, next drawer down. What do we have? I've got no clue on this. I'm sure it's a special tool for that. Hammer maybe, I don't know. The bottom is shaped like a clothes iron on both sides. So we've got a flat side and a curved side. So it could be for shaping metal or plastic. I'm not sure. Let me know if you know. Got a nice little bristle brush there. More hobby knife blades. This looks like it's a whistle. I'm not sure. Got a razor blade scraper. I was looking for one of these just the other day, so nice to know. More X-Acto blades. These are pretty rusty. We've got a nice little spatula. These are pretty handy for 3D printing as well as art. And this looks like the kind of thing you would get in an art supply store for applying paint. We got some of these little spring clamps. I know these are used in laboratories for test tubes, but you can use this sort of thing for all sorts of fun stuff. And these are actually gravers for hand engraving. Let me see if I can pull them out of here. I didn't know my aunt ever did any of that. So if you can see, there's a diamond-shaped tool there, and it's bent so that it's ergonomic. You would hold that in your palm like this, and then they're push gravers, so you can push to cut the material. I've done a tiny little bit of engraving, not enough to be good at it. So yeah, that's fun that she's got these. It would be neat to try to get a little better at that. Strange purple cone, looks like a funnel. I'm gonna guess funnel. And the bottom drawer, let's see what we have. All right, we have some tin snips. We've got, these are handed, by the way, so yellow handles are for cutting straight, and then red and green are for cutting left and right. I don't know if I've got that in order, but yeah, it seems like red would go left. It really should be red handle goes right, but I don't know. Take that up with Wiss. We've got our chalk line to go with all the marking chalk we had in the top drawer. We've got some miscellaneous pieces of wiring. Ooh, what's that? This is heavy, like it's a hammer of some kind. And it's got this spring-loaded plastic deal on the end. I'm not sure what that is. Let me know if you know. What are these? Are these needle files? Oh, these look like Riffler files, which I talked about a little bit in my file video, but these are all rasps, probably from shaping her doll work. So the curves to them, the various shapes, are so you can get different shapes in the material that you're working. So these are pretty cool. And we got miscellaneous screws, as one does, and we've got this cool little stained glass ornament. It doesn't look like it's actually glass, feels plastic. It feels like resin that's just been poured into the frame, but it's still pretty nice looking. I'll give that to my wife. This is actually the box that I've been in the most out of all of these because it's got a bunch of handy little things for machinists and engineers. I really like this. This is it's called an Incra rule. It's for marking paper and stuff like that. And you have all these little slots here. There's a bunch of holes up there and right in there. So you can put your pencil through there and you can mark your designs. And then you've got this straight edge where you can follow presumably a table or something like that. Pretty slick, very thin, very flexible. You've got another one over here that's bent at a 90-degree angle. So I'm assuming that would be for putting your marks on a actual piece. Got a couple others in here. One without a straight edge that's a little bit narrower, and I thought there was another one. Anyway, if I find it, I'll let you know. Got a nice little square in here. This is a wooden handle. Very coarse graduations, just 1/8" marks here on the blade. Got some grommets for crimping and things like tarps or cloth bags, stuff like that. Not sure what this is. It's got a clamp on the side. It's marked Herters, Herter''S. Waseca, Minnesota. I don't know what this does. It opens like a collet and closes, so that seems like it would grab something and hold it to a table. I'm just not sure what it would grab. If you know anything, let me know, please. We have an emergency blanket. These are just a couple of them. These are just Mylar blankets that you can use if you get trapped someplace. This here is an actual machinist tool. It's a surface gauge. So you would put this down on your surface plate like that, and then you can reposition this scriber wherever you need it to scribe marks in your layout fluid. This is a little scraper tool with interchangeable blades. And you can use that for scraping whatever you want. You drag it along the piece. Yeah, pretty easy. Got a sanding disc for a, looks like a drill or drill press. Honing guide for a chisel. That's pretty slick. Another silica gel packet. Is this our key? This appears to be a drill bushing guide for drilling holes into, wooden parts and stuff like that. Just guides your drill for more accurate results. Got a little piece of T-shaped aluminum. Not sure if that goes with something else. Here's the punch for those eyelets that we found earlier. Some kind of, looks like a battery cable or something, electrical cable. Not sure what this screws into. It's pretty heavy duty though. This thing weighs quite a bit. Saw slick. Not sure what this is. Durable, easy sliding cushion. Oh, so you put it on the bottom of your circular saw so it slides along whatever you're doing. It appears to be made out of felt, and it's peel and stick, as the thing says. A couple of little, I don't know, are these catalogs? They're instruction manuals on using some kind of tool that's probably in this box. Oh, cool. A little instruction manual for a speed square. I have several of these little speed squares. Can you actually see that? I have several of these, and I know basically how to use them, but there's a bunch of little features to these things that that are pretty slick. So yeah, that'll be some nice toilet reading, I think. A little piece of scrap plastic square tube, and oh, what do we got? Wooden dowel, more square tube, and a pencil. All right, that's what we have on the top. Oh, there's one last thing. All right, I bet you this fits. I don't know, it looks like it fits a ruler. It's a wooden block with a slot in there. So it appears that something would go through there and then be held together by this thumb screw. Not sure what exactly, but maybe we'll find out. All right, first couple of drawers. We've got a pair of calipers, little spring calipers. Are they marked? They are marked. The Airlock Packing Company? Made in New Orleans, Louisiana. Nice. Got a, looks like a little standoff. It's broken, maybe. Little piece of chain. We got a scratch awl. Little compass. What are these? Oh, these are actually the blades for that plane that I found in the other box. Just replacement blades for that. I should probably move those over. Not sure what this is. It looks like an X-Acto blade holder, but I don't know. It's marked Proto, made in the USA. It seems to have, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's almost like a screwdriver blade. I can't tell if that rotates. It does not. I've got no clue on that. It could be some kind of security bit. I don't know. This does seem to come off. It's got a little cam. So yeah, I'm not sure. If you've got an idea on that, the blade seems to straighten out when you move it on this this cam on the side. Oh, and then it snaps in if you press it. Not sure. Let me know if you know anything. Then we have a plumb bob. Get all that stuff back where it was. We've got some wrenches. These are, I can't remember what these are called, but they're for brake fittings and stuff like that. Oxygen sensors, anything that has a cable on it that you can't get the wrench over the cable. So it's like an open-end wrench, but more like the box end wrench as well. You get a little more contact with the tool. So they're double-ended. This is 1/2 and 9/16. We have 5/8 and 11/16 there, and then 3/8 and 7/16 on this one. We also have a center drill. That one's an easy one for me. Oh, some drawing leads. There's stuff in here. Yep, there's a little plug right there. And yeah, we've got some leads for a drawing pencil or mechanical pencil. Looks like we've got this in this sort of homemade compass right here. It appears there's a pinhole down here so that you could draw a certain radius on a part. Let's see what's next. All right, we have, this is like one of those rasp files that goes into a holder that you can actually push along. I don't see the holder. Maybe we'll come across that. We have a plastic knob, another silica gel packet. These are just some little brackets. We got one of those folding rulers. Oh, it folds out like that. That's pretty cool. Feels like I'm gonna snap it in half. Not sure on that. This is kind of squished on the end. It looks like it used to be a pin vise of some kind, or maybe just a file handle for needle files. I'm not sure. We have a cool little hand vise. This is pretty slick. So these, this is like a blacksmith's leg vise, but held in your hand. So this is all spring loaded. Pivots down here, and obviously you've got this wing nut. It appears to have buttress threads as well. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So they've got a really steep angle on one side, but then they're pretty much flat so that they take load really well in one direction where you're tightening it, but then they release very easily. That's really cool. I like that a lot. That's a cool find. I don't know, some kind of scraper. It doesn't really seem like it's sharp. Not sure what that's for. This appears to be a homemade deal of something, and then a tiny little screwdriver. I don't know if that has interchangeable blades. It might. Yep, looks like it does. The other side does not seem to be a blade. It seems to be something that locks the blade in to keep it from rotating. So I don't know if there's some other blades someplace. We have one of these tiny little, I think this is a ratcheting screwdriver, but it's a right angle screwdriver. Doesn't appear to ratchet. So you can get into tight places and, you know, pull that. They're all flat, no Phillips there. If you're not familiar with this is a burnisher. So it's a very nicely polished but rounded surface. It's kind of football or rugby ball shaped. You can gouge the heck out of things with the end, but basically you would use that to polish the edges of things. You can use it for, I actually use them a lot for ironing out dents and wrinkles in brass tubing when I'm working on musical instruments. But they're used in jewelry making, they're used in leather making, I believe, as well, or leather work, not necessarily leather making. So yeah, burnishers are used for all sorts of stuff. This, I believe, from the feel of it, this is a wood scraper. So you've probably seen this in fine woodworking where they're dragging the scraper across the wood grain to kind of plane it a little bit at a time, like you're planing off a powdery surface. So that's pretty slick. And what do we have here? Oh, yep, here you go, cabinet scraper. It's the information on this little dude right here. And this is marked. It says Marke Hirsch, MARKEHIRSCH. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. There we go. That looks pretty good. So there we are. And it's a cabinet scraper. All right, going to the next drawer down. Oh, very nice. Oh, please be a 10mm socket. No, 7mm socket. The 10 is still missing. We've got a bunch of small files. These are cool. We also have a screwdriver bit that should go in the trash. That's pretty rounded over. So yeah, we have a bunch of little tiny needle files in various sizes, some triangular, some, that's not really a knife edge, but a lot of cool little files. And what's this other thing here? Oh, that's just, looks like the remnants of a handle. Tiny little square one there. All right, moving on. Cable saw for cutting through PVC. Got some coping saw blades. Those are woodworking blades. I think these are more coping saw blades. Yeah. We have a I don't know, this looks like a mini screwdriver that you could carry around. I was thinking it was a spark plug gap setter, but doesn't appear to be. Some instructions for a mitering gauge. Oh, that's the registration card for this thing. Bunch of tiny little Craftsman wrenches. Another compass, missing the pencil, but that's easy to come up with. And bottom drawer of this one. Okay, we got the screwdrivers I was looking for. We have a bevel gauge. This is again a woodworking and construction tool, but you can use it to set an angle. I was actually looking for one of these yesterday, because I'm in the middle of framing up the ceiling of my shop, and I needed to kind of match an angle. So now I know where this is, and it's not going back in the box. I'm gonna put that over with the other stuff that I need. We've got a paint scraper. We got a nice little rule over here. So it's a 12-inch rule, 300 millimeters for the rest of you folks. Oh, there we go. Woodsmith Fine Tools number 121. So we appear to have 16ths on one side, 30 seconds down here, 16ths on every other side. I don't know why they felt like they needed to have so many 16ths. They could have done so many other graduations. So a bunch of screwdrivers. We've got another, looks like a pin vise or maybe a file handle. It's got a square hole in the middle. And you tighten that and it closes up the two halves. So I'm thinking it's probably for a file tang. And you know, I bet you this ruler fits through this block here. It does. Look at that. So then you could use it to mark a certain distance by moving this over. Well, you kind of get the idea. You know, you move this along the rule and it sets it kind of like a combination square. And then this last thing, well, actually I haven't looked in here. What do we got? Oh, these are just emery boards. Always handy. And then we have an impact driver. I've got a couple of these actually. So it's a really heavy duty screwdriver, and you put the different bits in there, whether you need flat or Phillips. Put that in the end, and then you smack it with a hammer, and it will not only give you the impact to try to loosen up the screw, but it'll also turn it a little bit. So it kind of acts like an impact wrench, but specifically for flat and Phillips head screws if they're being stubborn. I gotta say, I've never actually had great luck in using it. Most of the time at that point, the screws, by the time it's stuck so bad that you can't get it out, it's pretty far gone as far as the head goes as well. Let me know if you've had that same issue, or what you think of those impact drivers. All right, here's box number 3. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. We'll start with this one because it would be handy. This is a contour gauge. I'm sure most of you are probably familiar with that, but basically you could press it up against an object like this to reproduce the contour that's on this handle, and then you could then transfer that to either a drawing or another piece of wood, something like that. While we're talking about it, we have this little saw. This is shaped in such a way that you could get it flush to a floor and trim off like trim or molding, something like that. This would be handy on my drill press. It's a little vice grip type clamp, so you can put this down onto a fixture or a drill press table, and then you can use it to hold down your workpiece. Very cool. Blend and fill pencils. These are for furniture work, so you can use it if you get a scratch on something. You can color in and try to match the wood grain so the scratch isn't as noticeable. That's the rest of that packaging. And what's that? Bar gauge head. Never used these. Veritas is a woodworking tool brand. Make inexpensive measuring sticks from standard 3/4 inch stock. So, cool. Very nifty. Got instructions on the back. I'll have to read that. This appears to be a cork block. Pretty big one too. It's about 1 inch or 25 millimeters thick, maybe about 2 inches wide, and then 3.5, 4 inches long. Not sure. All right, we have this thing. This I saw the other day when I was going through this box, and I have no idea what this is. It's rubber. It's very flexible, kind of shaped like the pins you see on Google Maps, but I have no idea what this would be used for. It says patent pending, made in the USA. It's got some other stuff. Those appear to just be molding marks. Oh, okay. I see what it is. It says Sand Ease, the fast and easy sander. So I'm guessing you wrap sandpaper around this and then tuck it in right there, and then you can use it for sanding contours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not sure on this. There are no markings here. If I had to guess, from the looks of this, it's for crimping sheet metal, perhaps, or I don't know. The fit is incredibly sloppy. It could be used for all sorts of stuff. I think it's more of a crafty thing, but the sheet metal makes me think about sheet metal because we also have some tin snips in here, a couple of pairs. So we've got those. We've got another red wisp pair. So I'm guessing that's all sheet metal related. Not sure on this one as well. These appear to be drill bushings. It looks like it should open. Yeah, it does. I'm not sure what the deal is with these holes on the other end. I don't see any markings. Kind of looks like, yeah, you can push these out of the way. You've got drill bushings on the end as well, so I'm guessing you probably put a board through here, and then you can move these drill bushings to wherever you need it for that particular board, or that particular hole size, I mean. Anyway, yeah, not sure about that end. Another blend and fill pencil. All right, what's this dude? This appears to be some kind of punch. The business end is like a long slot, and yep, there's a lock so you can open it up. So that probably punches through, if I had to guess, I'd say paper or maybe leather. It doesn't feel like it's sturdy enough to punch through metal unless it was really, really thin metal. But who knows? Let me know if you know anything about this. Do we have any markings? See, no markings besides the number 2. So, yeah, another mystery. And screws, silica gel, keys. Do we have keys for this box? Not for that box. I don't know. They don't appear to fit that. Maybe this one does. Ah, there we go. That's my key to that box. Sweet. Got some Jorgensen clamp literature. Different types of clamps offered by them. Jorgensen's really famous, especially for this type of parallel clamp in woodworking, pointing to it and you can't even see it. Yeah, I've actually got a couple of those Jorgensen clamps, but apparently they make bar clamps and all sorts of other stuff as well, and didn't even really know about that. This appears to also be some kind of drill guide. I'm not sure what it goes to. Packaging from a diamond sharpener, Easy Lap. I've heard of them. Yeah, hopefully we've got that in here. Those are pretty cool. I have a rubber band that's stuck to this. What is this? Bent gouge. It says bent gouge, but it's actually a, hopefully you can see that, it's a tiny, tiny little saw. Itty bitty saw. almost like a drywall saw, but really, really tiny. Not sure what that plastic bit is. Packaging for a ratchet tie down. I don't think I need to keep that. Silica gel, more screws. What's this? Oh, it's a tiny little slinky. Yeah, you can see it moving around, unless it's a stack of washers, but no, I think it's a tiny little slinky, made in Japan. Yeah, it even says right there, baby slinky. You probably can't read that. All right, what else do we have? This is kind of big. Oh, this is I think this is a rasp. Yeah. Oh no, it's yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, it's like a coarse and fine on each side, and I would imagine you use that for removing wood. It almost looks like hacksaw blades that are riveted together. That's pretty slick. Mysterious plastic washer, reflector. Got another key. Is this also for the box? Nope. And some packaging from, it looks like a saw file, is what it says. No clue on that. It almost looks like the insert for a mechanical pencil. All right, that's it for the top. Let's look at the drawers. All right, starting over here, we've got some pencils, red one, carpenter's pencil, emery board, actually, no, just a popsicle stick, tiny little brush, some miscellaneous stuff. Not sure about that. That's a piece of sheet metal. Looks like it's just something he made. Who knows about that? A little piece of copper wire. Oh, nice little tweezer set. Variety of shapes. So it actually says what you can use them for down here at the bottom. So fine permanent shape, reversible action, with curved tip for electronics, with strong tips for general use is what that one says. And then with flat and wide tips for stamps, wafers, and medicine. And then we've got this extra one here that also has wider tips. 4-piece tweezer set made in Taiwan. We've got wrenches for some of the other tools. This is actually labeled Delta miter saw. That's one that I didn't actually take because I already own a miter saw. I should let them know I have that. Some kind of plastic cover. Yeah, these are just various tools. Nice little set of forceps. Yeah, that one's labeled Black & Decker something. 5.5 maybe. I got a big old X-Acto blade for the larger blades. Another pair of tweezers. Looks like some X-Acto refill blades. I think more of those right there. Oh, these are replacement blades for that tiny little saw I found a while ago. This is a box cutter, I believe. Yep, sure is. Branded 2 Fingers Tequila. Love to know the story there. Got a glue nozzle of some kind. What are these? They're labeled Crescent. Oh, surgeon's blades. So they're probably scalpel blades. I've got some other surgical steel blades over here. This looks like another blade for this X-Acto handle. Yeah, a bunch of scalpel blades. We've got a glass cutter. So a little wheel there to score the glass, and then the ball to kind of hit it and propagate the crack. What's this? A drill press center finder for cylinders. I believe I know what this is going to look like. Let's see. These are usually like a little, little triangular deal. If you've never seen these, there's a witness mark up here at the top. So this pivots, so you'd put your cylinder in there, and then you go until your witness mark lines up, and then you're centered. So it's kind of quick and dirty as far as machinists are concerned, but it's a great way to find the center of a cylinder on a drill press. Let's see, we got some wine corks. Are these retaining ring pliers? I think they are, yeah. Looks like a set of retaining ring pliers, probably one internal, one an external, and then different tips right there. That's pretty cool. These big rubbery blocks, I know exactly what these are. These are for kind of refreshing your belt sander blades. These are really stuck together. I don't think they should. Say you've got your belt sander going and the belt starts getting all loaded up with sawdust or whatever it is that you're sanding. You hit it with this and it kind of removes a lot of that debris. So pretty cool. I saw another one of these someplace. I think it's actually on the belt sander that I got from them. All right, and this one looks like we've got some cutters. Not sure what these go to. Possibly the joiner. We've got a lot of them. It says do not use on table saws. Always, always good to know. On this side, I have no idea what these are. So these are solid brass, and they seem to have some little springs on the side. And then you've got this flat spot, so if I had to guess, I'd say it was something to help line up a piece of wood or something like that across a distance. I'm not sure. If you have any idea what these are, please let me know down in the comments. By the way, if you're doing any of that stuff, put a timestamp in there. All you have to do is type in the time of the video, and then you can say at 12 minutes and 42 seconds, these are for this particular thing. So we have another ruler here, and we've got 32nds of an inch on that side, 50ths of an inch on here. This slot right here says American wire gauge. I don't know if you can see that or not. So you can put your wire down into that, and wherever it stops, you've either got 20, 18, 16, whatever size electrical wire you're working on. And then down here you've got holes for different kinds of studs, you know, for connectors and things like that in electrical work. Got a few other charts back here. And then this actually shows the thickness or the diameter of the wire where it stops on the opposite side. Moving on. Nut drivers, always handy. We've got, what are these? Oh, these look like some more scrapers, or kind of look like engraving cutters, but they're not really shaped like they should be for that. Maybe little gouges, could be something my aunt was working with. Another nut driver. This looks like a piece for furniture. Yeah, it's a slide for a lid. Got a tiny little hammer here. This kind usually also has some stuff hidden in a handle. Let's see what it has back here. Yeah, there's a little screwdriver there in the handle of it. What's that say? For light duty work only. any striking tool may chip if struck against another. It's legalese, nobody cares. Got another one of those mystery scrapers. Not sure, I think this is like a little speaker. I think if I put some voltage to that, it would make noise. I don't want to do that. Got a acid brush. You know, I saw one of these broken in another toolbox, and now I'm even less sure of what this is for. Please let me know. It's got a hollow wire, like it's a bent sheet metal. It almost looks like a tiny little gouge. This side is almost completely round. It's just folded over sheet metal. Not really sure. There's another one up here. It says extract and insert. I've got no clue. Please let me know if you know. Speedball linoleum cutters. This must be another one of my aunt's crafting things. There's 5 cutters in there. Yeah, I'm guessing for making stamps and things like that. Linoleum cutting, lino cuts are used in art all the time. Another acid brush, another nut driver, another nut driver. All right. Let's move on to the next drawer down. We've got a bunch of these things. They're, I've seen them used as little air dusters, where you can push that. I've seen them used to suck up oil and then apply oil elsewhere. I think they have multiple uses. Here's the screwdriver I used the other day. We have an X-Acto saw in here. These are actually really, really handy. Super fine teeth and a very, very thin blade. So if you ever need to do some very fine work with thin metal or wood, you can use it on wood as well. The teeth are a little bit fine for wood, but it still works. I got a pair of vice grips in there. Got a chisel. Got a couple of screen tools for replacing that little rubber gasket on a screen window or storm door or something like that. Bunch of more wine corks. Red Devil, this looks like some kind of scraper. So Red Devil's a paint company here in the US. I don't know if they're worldwide or not. So it's got to do something with paint, I'm sure. Vargas, they make all sorts of stuff, but this appears to be a pin vise. I know them because they make deburring tools. There is something back here. What is this? I think that's just the mechanism. That's the spring for the jaws. Okay. So yeah, that's a pretty cool little pin vise. Another saw blade in there. Tiny, tiny little Phillips screwdriver. All right, what else do we have here? Star drill from Dasco. They make punches and things like that. So I think this is masonry related, but let me know if I'm wrong on that. It looks like it's got a 4-pointed star down here on the bottom, but yeah, I think I've seen these for use in masonry, but I don't recall exactly. I got a pair of tiny little tin snips. Another little sheet metal deal. I found one of these earlier. I'm not sure what it is. Just packaging from something, and then there's like a little plastic angle back there. And this looks like some literature on vice grips. So that's pretty cool. The vice grips that I have in there are Craftsman branded, not vice grip branded, but still always good to have vice grips around. All right, here's the big Kennedy. Top of it has a ratchet strap handle. Missing the strap though. This looks like it used to be a mirror. like a telescoping mirror, but the mirror is broken. Little spring clamp. Looks like it used to be attached to maybe a trouble light. I don't know. There's a couple of them in here. Maybe the rubber is just to keep you from getting pinched. Who knows? I've got a hand plane. Blade's obviously not set super well. It's sticking out a lot. We got another chalk line. Drill guide. This is obviously homemade. Nothing much to talk about there. What do we have? Core lock, safety electrical cord lock. Yeah, some child proofing, I'm guessing. So we have some little bungee cords. This looks like an archery glove. Ben Pearson, Pine Bluff, Arkansas is what it says right there. I'm not sure about the cord there, but this is a tape measure. Craftsman 100-foot steel tape. Oh, nice. That's a plumb bob. Easy peasy. Some little plastic cable clamps. Some kind of punch. Doesn't seem to have interchangeable dies. I'm not sure what that would punch. It's marked made in Japan. I got a tiny little pry bar there for taking out nails. I could actually use that around the shop right now. I'm going to set that aside. This looks like a homemade scratch awl. Just got a nail in it. Nope, this is another one of those rubber blocks for cleaning out your belt sander belts. Plastic paint scraper. Some more of those angled scrapers. We found one of those in the first box, I think. This one just has all the blades on their own handles. So whatever you need to scrape, all your scraping needs. Oh, you know, I bet you these probably go with this little deal here, and they're so it's a grommet set, and these are tiny little grommets. This looks like it's for holding a hammer on your belt. I'm guessing you just put your belt through there, and then you can slide your hammer in there. Adjustable square gauge set. $2.29 from Ace Hardware. What do we have here? Craftmark glue tool. Oh, okay. It's like a little glue roller. Fill that up with glue, and then you can move it along the boards that you're trying to glue together. That's pretty slick. And then we have a doweling jig with revolving turret. That's pretty cool. It's branded Craftsman. And I'm guessing, yeah, it looks like you clamp your board in there, and then the turret, you can revolve that. Probably you got to loosen that screw. Maybe this screw. Oh, I see. You revolve it like that. So you can set it for whatever dowel size you want to put into the board, and then you can slide that along however far into the board you want. That's pretty neat. All right, I'm going to tighten that stuff up, and then we'll check out the other drawers. All right, so another silica gel packet. We've got a couple of Machinist squares. These are labeled Wood River. So I'm guessing more marketed towards woodworkers. Not sure what this is. What does that say? It says Carl F. Mott Company, Depew, New York. It appears to be some kind of, I don't know, these look like molding, different shapes of molding, so it could be for scraping paint out of them. I'm not really sure. If you recognize that, it seems to have interchangeable blades. There's a couple of them stacked up right there, and then there's more in this little central packet. If you recognize that, let me know. What do we have here? pyramid step gauge. All right. Got a tiny little general made in the US scale. These are usually in some kind of marking gauge where you would have a handle to measure the depth of something. That's usually when you see the small ones. What do we have here? That's another folding rule, this time made out of sheet metal. Real thin folding rule. The graduations are actually almost worn off of this first section. Oh, looks like it folds out some more. So probably goes out to, 2 feet, about 600 millimeters. Over here, let's see, hollow set screw key assortment. They just look like Allen wrenches. Yeah, so Craftsman. Got some Hansen screw extractors, always nice. Got some more Allen wrenches, even more Allen wrenches. All right, oops. Let's try it that way. Now this drawer, this is why I love the larger Kennedys, because it's got this wide drawer right in here. Some people, obviously my uncle stored pop rivets in it. Some people, they'll put their machinery's handbook in here. It fits perfectly. For me, it's the candy drawer, and I think a lot of people use it as the candy drawer. So if you don't use it as your candy drawer, maybe think about it. It's a nice little life hack. All right, over here we have one thing. It's a tiny little level labeled Dunlap number 3986. It's got a little pen clip. That's pretty slick. Never seen one like that. We got utility knives and blades over here. We got a little propane torch. Oh, this one looks like, I wonder if that gives it a little extra burst of fuel there. That would be pretty neat. I'll have to try that out. I don't know what these are. Oh, these are torch tips. Yeah, I'd probably go with this torch. Yeah, it's labeled Craftsman. So basically you put it on there and then you get a wide fan or a slightly more focused. Who knows, there's a soldering iron tip for it. Cutter wheels for tubing cutters. I don't actually see the tubing cutter in here. A little thing of razor blades. Is this the key for this box? It is indeed. Got a, looks like a valve of some kind. Not sure what the end of this is for. Open, close, maybe it's for a water heater, maybe. It seems to work. Yeah, it looks like a little needle valve down there. I don't know, if you've ever seen a valve like this, please let me know what that is. It's got a little plastic bushing here, almost looks like a compression fitting. Really not sure about this end. And then this seems to be, from the looks of it, it seems to be almost like a window latch. I'm just not really sure what exactly this would go on. So I think you would slip whatever fitting would be in there and then you can latch it with this cam, but I've got no clue on that. The other thing that was in here, these little deals, they're labeled Goldblatt. I don't know. Obviously you've got a 90-degree angle there, so you could put it on something, but I'm not really sure what they do. And then, let me see, my hands are really freaking cold right now. It's just above freezing in the shop, so it says gas lighter flat file heavy duty. Okay, yeah, they're just replacement flints for a striker. I'm honestly surprised that I could get that open because this box is quite tight. Let's see what we have here. We have rivet guns. We've also got some hacksaw blades, whole bunch of hacksaw blades. Not sure about these. These thread in. They're obviously moving the thing that's in the middle. This one is super duper deep. I've got no idea what these are. If you know what they are, you know what to do. Tell me down in the comments with a timestamp if you could. This appears to be some kind of maybe a fence or right angle guide for a saw. It's very cheaply made, and it doesn't look like this is 90 degrees. But this, I think, moves in a slot. It's not adjustable. This is just spot welded on the end. No clue on that. Carbide grit for cutting tile or something on a jigsaw. We've got some Teflon tape. Yep, pipe sealing tape if you don't call it Teflon tape. And yeah, some of these hacksaw blades that are in there are also for tile. They've got that carbide grit on it. Let's check out the bottom drawer. Yeah, we've got a little gear puller. Ooh, cool. We've got a couple of torque wrenches, beam type torque wrenches. All right, so this is labeled inch pounds up here and then centimeter kilograms. I've always thought that metric torque wrenches went Newton meters all the way, but I guess centimeter kilograms are the equivalent of inch pounds. So this is a Craftsman. It's a beam type torque wrench, so when you put the torque in on this end, it actually flexes this beam, and then you look at the gauge wherever it's going. That's pretty cool. And then this one is a 1/2 inch drive. The first one's 3/8 drive. So we have a 1/2 inch drive with a moving head. Pardon me. This one's actually labeled Chrysler Corporation, but then up here it says Miller Special Service Tools, Miller Manufacturing Company, Detroit, Michigan. This one's only in foot pounds, and it goes from 0 to 150. So that's pretty cool. What do we have here? Torque wrench chart for bolts from Craftsman. So it tells you what torque to use on each different size bolt. We've got another mysterious sheet metal piece, and another one of those mysterious angled sheet metal pieces. We've got a tubing cutter. I think we found some replacement blades for that a few drawers back. And that seems to be it in this box. I saved the best for last. This is the homemade box that my uncle's grandfather had made. And he's got all of his electronics tools in here. So we have some little side cutters, some needle nose pliers, little flush cutters. This looks like some kind of crimping tool, maybe. Not really sure what that is. It kind of looks like a punch, but I doubt that. Again, let me know if you know. Some more forceps, a bunch of heat shrink tubing. Lots and lots of that. Some zip ties and the little sticky pads that you would use to mount zip ties to things. We have, looks like leads for a voltmeter or something like that. This is for removing solder. You push that in and then it sucks the solder up once it's melted. Some really big heat shrink tubing, either that or it's a bicycle inner tube. No, it's heat shrink. Let's see, you got a lot of bits and bobs in this one. There's, I think, some solder, some tweezers, lots of little screws. See a couple of alligator clips in there. Still more heat shrink tubing. We've got a soldering iron that I doubt is Underwriter Laboratory approved. Now we've got a bunch of stuff here. 5-core solder. So electrical solder. We have electrical tape. We have a little puffy blower thingy. A whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. Let me see if I can just turn this up like that. This looks like another solder sucker. Bunches of wire in there. A little paint can cup of drill bits, heat sink compound, all sorts of stuff. More solder. Lots and lots of electronic stuff. But the thing I really like about this is the box. It's a really cool little box. Well, I don't want to close it while it's tilted back. It's all wood, all painted black, pretty nicely made. Even added some little molding strips on there. I don't know if you can see those. Kind of dress it up a little bit. Really nice hardware. It's a really cool box to have, even though I don't really do anything with electronics. But I think I'm going to keep all this as is. I'm not going to repurpose the box like I will with the other stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. And please, if you do know what any of these tools are that I didn't know, let me know down in the comments with a timestamp. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.